Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Smith, and I'm all the way in Cambridge, Massachusetts, coming from Maine. And I'm excited to be here with you guys today and really just share a little bit about my introduction and sort of my journey into home-based business. A little bit about myself. My background is in massage therapy and in the healing arts. I've been a body worker for about 16 years. And I've owned my own business for the same amount of time. You know, I love helping people. I love spending the time working on bodies, helping people, kind of transform their life from a physical and emotional perspective as well. And about 5 years ago, we had a health crisis sort of land in our laps, my husband and I. We were healing from Lyme disease. And this is when I really started exploring home-based business, because this is the deal. If my husband's hands, who's a carpenter, if his hands were not with a hammer and nail and building houses, he wasn't making any money. Okay, when my hands were not on bodies in my massage room and me working one-on-one right there, the money stopped coming in, and this became a real issue when he was out of work and I was out of work. So, I never really had an interest in home-based business because I never really understood exactly the power of finding a really good one. So I'm here today to share with you a little bit about the reasons why sort of a home-based business is a good thing these days. Number one, for anyone, it's a really great way to, if you want to earn a six-figure income, it's up to you, right? You actually have that capability to, an uncapped income, I should say. And for women out there, I'll give you a really good statistic. 6% of all women out there in the working world make a six-figure income. About 85% of that 6% do it in a home-based business. How about that? It's another reason why a good home-based business is great is there's really a global need for a supplemental income these days. 95% of people can't retire right now. I think, when you walk into a Walmart and you see somebody who's 80 handing you a bag or a cart, there is something wrong with that, okay? So retirement and our 401ks are not matching up to what it's actually going to take for us, anyone who has just a 9-to-5 job to be able to retire. There's also a need to be connected, in the world. I think people are really looking at their purpose and their passion and really what they want to bring to the world. There's a global need to feel connected. I know some of the countries that have the best health span and lifespan, they all they have great community bases. Like they share dinner with their friends and family. They drink red wine. They have a Mediterranean diet. But the key fact is that people are feeling connected, and that's something that people crave, especially in today's world where everything is technology-based. Home-based business is actually a trend. It's the gig economy. And when we're talking about the gig economy, we're talking about, okay, when you're done with work, at the end of the day and at the end of the month, are you really making enough money to make ends meet? People are resorting to Uber. They're resorting to Airbnb. They're really trying to kind of take control of their own financial health in ways that are entrepreneurial. Forbes magazine actually quoted that, the best sort of investment in your future for retirement is picking a home-based business that you really resonate with, that you're really passionate about, and sticking with that. The other key point here is that there's unparalleled growth. In other words, there's no cap to what you can actually make in the industry, okay? And when we think of a residual income is like J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter, and every time a wand sells or a bedspread or a book sells, she makes a residual income. She wrote the book once. And I think Elvis is still making royalties off of his music. So there are very few ways that you can actually make a residual income where you actually build the house once and it pays you over and over again. So there's more flexibility in that. So I want to just talk a little bit about how to vet, how to sort of put through the ringer what a good home-based business would be for you. And when I started looking into it, I know I landed on a great one because I was taught that there are 6 key components to choosing the best home-based business for yourself. The first is that it's really, when you're making a decision, we tend to make an emotional-based decisions when we're looking at a business opportunity. And when people get really excited, maybe about a product or a service that they really love, they may not look a little bit deeper into the key items that you really want to look for to make sure that you have success with this. The first is the company. You want to know, is this company publicly traded? Is it privately held? And I do know that if a company is publicly traded, it's a really good sign because the level of transparency that you can really research. Do you really want to align with a company that has really good ethics and morals and, it has a good track record? This is a great way for you to do your research. If a company is privately held, they may not show, that particular number of, let's say, distributors in a company. And that's really important to know. Also with the company, it's good to know whether they're in the growth phase. Are you looking at a company that's already a billion-dollar company, or are you actually looking at a company that's ground floor? You want to make sure that when you're really looking at the sales and kind of the track record, have they gone through that initial whitewater of their first 200 million? Are they on a positive trajectory for growth? Another thing you want to look at is, from a company perspective, is do you resonate with the company story? I know, you need to be passionate. Does the company story resonate with where your excitement is? Do you really believe in the product or the service or the mission of what you're involved with? Because, when you're looking at a home-based business, you are the face of your excitement. You are that, your belief and your passion is really what attracts people to learn more, about what you're up to in a home-based business. You also really want to take a look at the leadership of the company. And has the leadership steered the company in the right direction? Do they have a track record of, let's say, bringing a $200 million company to $1 billion? Do they have a track record of success? So you want to really look at the leaders of the company and make sure you resonate with them as well. Now, from a branding perspective, is your product or service tied to a sports team? Are they tied to celebrities? And from a branding perspective, is it something that is really getting out there and really being backed by some of the top people in the industry from an entertainment perspective? That's very important as well. So that would be it for the company. The next is trends. And from a trends perspective, you really want to, when I think of trends, they're long-standing. Fads, for example, I'm a product of the 80s, I will say. I had the feathered haircut, I had the jelly bracelets, and I mean, you name it, I'm not wearing jelly bracelets now and my hair is not feathered. So trends are something that withstand the test of time, and health is really a big one. Ideally, from a company's perspective, you really want to know if you're ahead of the trends, and that's actually where you want to be. You want to be ahead of where the trends are. You also, Paul Zane Pilsner, for example, he is a famous economist. He's known for projecting trends for, major heads of state, and he's got a bunch of books out there written around that exact topic. And what he says is if you have home-based business and health and wellness, those two trends together are going to produce the most self-made millionaires in the next 10 years. And what he's saying is the next 10 million new millionaires are going to come from the bringing together of home-based business and health and wellness. When you're looking at a company, you're also looking at, for example, in a home-based business, you're looking at creating a network for a particular company or service. And usually the breakdown of the company comes in the form of a distributor or a customer. And what you want to make sure of is that there are more customers than distributors. And that there's actually, I think the law now in home-based business is that 70% of the company needs to come from would need to come from a customer base. 30% needs to come from a distributor platform. So these, and the Direct Sellers Association, the DSA.org, is a great resource to really check out whether your company is in alignment with what all the rules and the regulations of the industry. There are 20,000 network marketing and direct sales companies out there, of which only 200 are actually certified and verified. So that's a great way. So trends and kind of the layout of the company is very important. The next kind of area that you want to look at are products. The products for, which you are, represent, product or service, you really want to make sure that they're unique, that maybe they're patent protected, they could be science-based, they're highly consumable if it is a product. You really want to make sure that what you're looking at from a product base is that the rate in which your sort of monthly income is based is really kind of a unique and highly consumable kind of turnover from a monthly auto ship standpoint, because that is really what creates a residual income. For example, we all know Tupperware, right? Tupperware had patents on their products for a long time. And I know I still have Tupperware from my grandmother that is still in really great shape, right? So there's only so much Tupperware you can have in a house, and there's only so much monthly turnover that you can have with Tupperware. Same with knives or vacuum cleaners, those kinds of things. So you want to look at the product or service and really figure out if it's something that can be highly consumable and sort of a quick turnover every month. The system. The system is really important when you are looking for the perfect fit. And the system really takes place with the culture of the company, the amount of support that you get. And systems don't fail, people fail systems, right? So let's think about a really great system in place. The Golden Arches, McDonald's, for example. What is their number one product? It's not the Big Mac. It's not the large fry. It's actually the franchise itself. People, whoever's interested in buying a franchise from McDonald's has to go to Hamburger University and learn how to make a hamburger that tastes the same in San Antonio as it does in Singapore, right? That's the success. There's a system in place that duplication happens really easily. So, for example, when you want to make sure that you have a team of people that are supporting you in your journey to really launch a business. I think in home-based businesses, that's the toughest thing. You receive your business in a box, you open it up, and then you don't know what to do. You don't know how to move forward. And I think it's super important to know who you're working with, if there's a system for success in place, and what that actually means. And when you are really involved and you get the business of network marketing or direct sales, what you really want to focus on, your goal is to really duplicate very simple actions and help people succeed with that. As human beings, we tend to complicate things quite a bit, right? So the simple duplication of creating a large network and helping people, kind of plug into something simple is really the success you find. I think in this day and age where I know for me being an entrepreneur and running sort of my own business, traditional business, I know I'm the hub. I've been the hub of the success. And so being able to step out of that is nearly impossible. So the goal with a good home-based business is that you're going to be able to step out in 3 to 5 years and allow sort of the fruits of your labor to pay you for generations. I mean, that's ideally what you're looking at with a home-based business. Lastly, I want to talk about timing. 2 points left, timing and compensation. Timing. The most important part of any home-based business is actually the timing. So when we're talking about real estate, we're talking about location, right? Location is the key success to a great real estate buy. When you're looking at a home-based business, you want to be in first. You don't want to be late to the party. You hear so many times where people have had, an unsuccessful run, or my grandfather, he joined Amway at the beginning and he found no success, right? And that's because maybe he was late to the party. Maybe the system wasn't in place for him to succeed. Because when you're looking at something where you have all 6 components lined up, it's really you that needs to change to make a success with the business, right? So when you're talking about timing, I'll just give you a breakdown from a direct sales standpoint. And this was studied by Harvard Business School and the Direct Sellers Association. When you're looking at a great network marketing opportunity, the best way to take a look at it is through the Peter Drucker S-curve. I don't know if you remember that from your economics classes, but when you're, Peter Drucker studied over 70,000 businesses, brick and mortar, every kind of business there is. And he found that there is a trajectory for success for every single one that follows the same sort of curve. And in the beginning, you have a great idea, you're really excited, you dump all your time and your energy, your money, passion, your last pennies into this idea, and you go through what's called the valley of death, okay? That's usually in your first 3 to 5 years of starting any business, okay? And you hope that you break even. You hope that you, come out breaking even, right? You're toasting. Because 85 to 90% of all businesses fail within that first 3 to 5 years. Now, when you break even and you're on a positive trajectory for growth, branding happens. Branding is when your product or service starts to become a household name. After branding hits, there's something that is beautiful. It's called momentum. Momentum happens once and it happens fast. That's where 80% of a company's success happens. And that is where the company really, the company pays 80% of its commissions to the ground floor leadership that helps drive that momentum in the first 80% of the sales of that growth. Then 2 to 7% stabilization, that's where the billion-dollar marks happen. That's where, any company, you take Apple, for example, they hit, as soon as the iPod hit and they went into expanding their technology base to multiple devices, it hit momentum. It might not hit momentum and then it hit stabilization. It might not be the best today to invest in Apple stock, but we use their products, right? So when you're looking at network marketing, you're looking at the billion-dollar companies, the stabilized companies. If you're joining one of those, your chances of success are really limited because you have to be a really good salesperson, okay? So when you're looking at Amway, Tupperware, Mary Kay, Pampered Chef, you name it, any of the billion-dollar companies, you're looking at about 2 to 5 million distributors per market. Okay? That is a lot of competition. That's called saturation. When you're looking at 500,000 distributors and you're looking at a cutting edge opportunity, because those 500,000 distributors, they're going to help capture that last piece of the momentum. And so it's still a good time. You still have success, but you really want to look at those numbers. Now, at 135,000 distributors, that's where you have a once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity. That's actually where branding starts. It's where momentum takes off in any company. So what you want to do is you want to find out when you're joining a team or find something you're passionate about, where are they in the saturation point with numbers of distributors? That's a really important fact to know. So if you find a company that has less than 135,000 distributors per market, you have found a really great home. So the timing is key. The timing is absolutely key. Lastly, what I want to talk about is the compensation. So the compensation really needs to be a good fit for you as well. When I started looking at home-based businesses and really trying to figure it all out, I learned that there are two kinds of business, compensation plans that you can plug into. One is a unilevel, which really allows you to build your business at the rate in which you want to. There's no pressure. You can move slow, you can move fast. It's kind of for somebody who wants to build this over time and maybe has this as sort of a side hustle. Then there's the binary compensation plan. And this is, this is really for somebody who's wants more than just a side hustle, but wants, a fast-paced, go get 'em, working with the team, but you're really pressured in a way to move fast with it. So, you just want to look at those two things, and you want to look at how many ways that a company actually pays you. Just to kind of wrap up, when I was introduced to the company and the opportunity that I'm involved with now, I've been in home-based business now for 5 years. I'm having tremendous success. I'm in the top 1% of the income earners with this company. And it is, one of the most amazing journeys for several reasons. One is that if you want something that has purpose, if you want something that pushes you to grow on a personal level, if you are looking for a team approach but really want to be your own boss, it's a really fantastic way to go. And I've been lucky enough to be introduced to a company and a technology that is really ahead of the trends right now, that is really ground floor, that is really something. It's sort of the shining star right now in home-based businesses. And honestly, when you're looking at any home-based business, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to run it through the 6 key components: company, product, trends, system, timing, compensation, and make sure that all of them have check plus in those boxes. So that is a wrap for the ways that you can vet and really choose a great home-based business. And some of the top reasons why it's a good idea today in today's economy, and really for the future of your financial health. So, as I've been exploring the pros and cons of home-based business and finding the right business opportunity, my background is in health and wellness, and my passion has been trying to help people heal, and through body work, through everything I can do, from that one-to-one, one-on-one kind of client to body worker standpoint, I've really tried to help my clients. And what I found is that everything I'm running across when I'm looking at a person's health are things that I can't really fix. I've got to be honest. I cannot massage people's genes. I cannot lower their levels of oxidative stress. I cannot do what it takes at the cellular level to actually increase a person's level of health as they age. So when I started researching home-based businesses and really looking into this, I had mentioned that I was healing from, on the path healing from Lyme disease and really looking for a better way to heal. Really, I was turned on to the concept in the new science of nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics is how all natural compounds affect our genes. It's around how food affects our DNA. And I was really fascinated with biohacking our biology. I mean, how cool is that? Biohacking it's really, biohacking is how to really take in a complex environment like our bodies and sort of change the outcome and the result. So it's such a buzzword. Here I am in Cambridge. Hacking. It's biohacking is huge. Life hacks, brain hacks. Everybody's talking about a way to live life better, a way to have a better desired outcome and getting there in the quickest way possible. So when we're talking about the future of prevention and we're talking about really aging and really increasing our health span, there are very few things out there that are actually doing this. And I just want to cover one. One is NRF2 activation, kind of a new concept. NRF2 activation is actually, it's a pathway in the body. It stands for nuclear factoid reactor 2. Kind of sciencey. I'm just a massage therapist, but I've become fascinated at the fact that if we combine a specific ratio of herbs to activate our own body's way to heal itself at the cellular level, how cool is that? How cool is it to be able to make our own antioxidants versus taking them? How great is it to make our own anti-inflammatory enzymes versus taking Advil and munching on all of the anti-inflammatory things that are out there? Because when we talk about disease and we talk about aging, inflammation is the key factor to deal with as we age. And if we can activate our own body's way to heal itself at the cellular level, why not? I've learned that NRF2 activation is why eating an array of colorful foods is really good for us, because it activates this protein messenger that's tied to our defense mechanism for aging. NRF2 is also why exercise is good. When you think about when you're outside exercising, why is it that exercise is so good for you? Well, because the NRF2 protein is being activated so that your body can actually heal quicker at a cellular level. So what I'm learning is that these key pathways to longevity in our bodies is really where the future is going. Now, currently, there are pharmaceutical companies that are making drugs. For example, the MS drug, Tecfidera. Tecfidera is a synthetic version of an NRF2 activator. It's $50,000 a year. There's a slew of side effects. But what science is showing is that if we can all naturally activate this protein, our bodies can actually do the work. So the company that I'm representing and the breakthrough that I have my hands on just as sort of, a representative of this company has cutting edge products that are hacking our biology. And so I'm just super excited to be in the hub of innovation right here in Cambridge, to be able to talk about this, because I think all the geneticists that are out there, all the people that are out there looking for this, don't even know it exists right now, that there's actually a product that all naturally can, it's about biohacking, not hijacking, right? Hijacking your body is what, processed foods are doing. It's what the environment of, high levels of, air pollution and the environments that we live in, right? So to actually have our hands on something that will activate our own body's way to heal itself is just a true gift. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this session up. I just want to thank everybody for joining me today. And with just a little bit of knowledge, just wanted to throw a little knowledge out there and, share with people a little bit about the future of, I believe, where business is heading, and creating networks, inspiring the entrepreneur, just creating a network in which people can help a lot of people, and where we are sharing information around cutting edge technologies that are out there to help people on their cellular level. So that being said, thank you for joining us at Somerville Media Center.